Hello and welcome to a quick informational video about a 2v2 tournament that's going to be happening on December 2nd. There is a $300 prize pool, but if you do want to donate, be sure to privately message Nite, and I'll come back to this later. But the important bit is that the deadline to register is November 29th, so if you do want to participate, well, either you already have a teammate you would like to play with, and I'm going to be showing how to fill out the form and how to register for all the things you need to register for to participate. And we do also have a server where you can look for teammates in case you don't have a friend that will be playing with you. So let's jump right into this. This Google Forms link, I'm going to be putting it in the description, and it should just be this. And just so the video isn't super long, I'm going to be skipping most of these rules, but you should really read through all of this. And then there's also going to be like a lot of informational posts coming out on the Discord server like as the tournament is starting, and we're also going to have people helping out in case you have some issues. So for now I'm just going to skip these parts and show the important bits that might be a bit harder to understand. So this is just regular stuff, you know, you fill out your name, the name of your teammate, the name of your team, which should be 8 to 10 characters max, and be sure that the name you're putting in here is the actual name you're using on Steam, right? If you put something else here and then you have a different Steam name, that's just going to cause all sorts of issues with the replays and knowing who to message in case somebody's doing something wrong. So really put your Steam username here. And you can also fill out the countries. That's going to be for little flags in the Twitch overlays, because Nite is going to be casting this live, I'm pretty sure. And the first important thing is that the factions you choose, you're going to be playing for the entire tournament, right? But you can change these all the way up to the registration deadline, which again is November 29th. So all of the maps are going to be modded, and at the time of me recording this, they haven't all been finished yet, so we don't know all of the maps, and it's not... Maybe if you're not sure what factions you want to play, you can just put something here and decide later by messaging Nite. But for now, I'm just going to put Cyber Neon, right? The first one is for you who's filling out the form, and obviously the second one is for your teammate. Then you also need to put in the Steam URL. So if I'm in my Steam library here, you just go to your profile, and either you have this link right here, you just click. But on older versions of Steam, I don't think this was here. So you can also just right-click on your name and copy the page URL, right? And now if I go here, Control-V, there's my Steam URL that goes to my profile. This is just to keep track of the players and message them if there are any issues. Then you do the same thing for your teammate, and let's continue. Now, you are also going to need to register a Challonge account, because that's what we're actually going to be using for the brackets. So I have the same link opened here, but for example, if I just open a random tournament here that I was a part of, as you can see, Challonge is just a website to basically keep track of the brackets, and then you also use it to report the scores, who won, who lost. This tournament is already over, and well, this isn't even me, but when the tournament was happening, I would basically be able to edit these, and this is how you would report the scores. This is how you're going to be reporting the scores for this tournament. And there's also going to be some games that are going to be casted live by Nite, but that's something you should keep an eye out for on the Discord server, which I'm going to come back to later. But for now, just make a Challonge account in case you don't already have one. You log in, and when you open this link for this tournament, there should be a big orange register button. You just go through that whole process. If it's changed, you might need to register a team first, right? So if I go to teams here, yeah, you might need to register a new team, fill out the name, and then basically you register with that for the tournament. But here, for the moment, I think it's set up so you're just registering as individuals, which would be something used for a 1v1 tournament. But read through all of this, right, all of the rules, register for the tournament, and once you've done that, so that's the first thing done, you have to join the OSS Discord server, which the invite link is here, and I'm also going to be putting it in the description. And once you join the server, really, there's probably going to be a chat for the tournament specifically, but you should be keeping an eye on announcements, and here is where you're going to get all the information. And in case you have some questions, you can message, either Nite or me. Just ask, and there's going to be plenty of people who will be able to help you. So once you've done that, you've joined the Discord. Make sure the display name, the Steam name, and the Discord name, and the name you're putting in the form is all the same, because if you're using a different name on every single thing, it's a nightmare to try to contact someone who's not responding. You make sure that's okay, and then you add Nite on Steam to friends, right? So you just click this link, go to his profile, add him as a friend, probably so he can message you directly in case there's any issues. And that should be everything, right? There's this little checkbox clicking thing just to make sure, to remind you that you've done everything. But once you've done that, you just submit this form. I'm not going to be sending this because it's not a real application, but you just click this purple button, and that should be everything you have to do to register for the tournament. So now I'm going to talk about the modded maps. At the moment, the map pack for this tournament hasn't been released yet.
Okay, so I had to re-record this part because, of course, right as I got done editing the video, the map pack got released. So you just join the Discord server, right? In announcements, you go to this Google Drive link, and there's the download button, right? Let me wait for this to load because a lot of people. Okay, sometimes it shows you like the preview of the inside of the file, and a lot of people get confused, like, oh, where do I download this? Well, either there's going to be a big button here, or you just click this thing, right? I have the thing in check, so it's not saying download, but you just download this file, right? It's a .std file. Yeah, there it is. And you need to locate where Supreme Commander 2 is installed, right? So the easiest way to do that is to go to your library. You find Supreme Commander 2 in the list of your games. You right-click on it, manage, and you browse local files. That's going to open the folder where Supreme Commander 2 is installed. And to install any modded maps, including this one, you just go to the game data folder. So that's this. And you see I already have a bunch of stuff here. Actually I already have the map pack here, but your thing's gonna look something like this, right? You're not gonna have what I had there at the top. And what I also recommend is putting an underscore at the start of the file name, because that way when you put this in, right, you just drag it into the game data folder. The modded files, like this extra stuff you put in there, is going to show up at the very top, right? Assuming you sort by name. If I view details here, there you go. You see, if I sort by name, the stuff with an underscore is going to show up at the very top, which makes it really easy to fix any issues in case you downloaded some mods that are like desyncing the game in multiplayer and you just want to get rid of it. And instead of like having to go through this and figure out like, oh, is this a file that's in vanilla, or is this something I added here? Right? It's better to just put an underscore at the start of it. And if it's sorted by name, it's always going to show up at the very top. But once you have this file here, all you have to do is you just launch SC2. If you already had it open, you have to restart for this to load. And really important, you need to check if they actually loaded properly. So you just launch the game, you go to like skirmish, and you check that the maps are actually loaded properly, because we're not going to have time to debug those issues as the tournament is happening, right? So you need to check like, oh, there's this, right? That's all of the tournament maps. That was the first three. And Coalition Shipyard, Desolatia, Emerald Crater, QAG Labs. For these, you actually have to scroll a bit. Like, these three are at the very top, but for some reason the other ones are slightly further down. And you can see there they are. So this one, and this one. I don't think Powderhorn Mesa is in the map pool. No, it is not, right? And read the rules to figure out like how the map selection is gonna work. And yeah, if you have these loaded into your game, then everything should be working fine. You can play test these if you want. You can, practice a bit with random people or your friends, and yeah, And as you can see, the map is working, no issues. I can move around, build stuff, right? It's loaded in properly, so I know that it's going to work on the day of the tournament. Also, just a note, in the map pool, these letters at the end are telling you the way the map is played, right? So this is east versus west, which means you're playing left versus right. And NVS is north versus south, which means you're playing top versus bottom.
Once you have all of the maps installed and you're registered, yeah, December 2nd is when the tournament's going to be happening. This is 9 a.m. EST, so if you're unsure when this is starting for you, I mean, you just Google like a time zone converter or something. I'm in Europe, right? So let me just put in my country here, and I need to compare it with, I think I can just type EST. Yeah, there you go. EST 9 a.m. There you go, 3 p.m. for me. So be sure that you know when it actually starts for you, because time zones are a thing. And also, super important, there's going to be a check-in. It's not enough to show up like right as the tournament is starting. You have to show up a little before. I don't think it's written here, but if I go to the Google form, I think this... Okay, there it is. You have to check in at least 15 minutes before the tournament starts. What this means is that 2 hours before the tournament starts, on this challenge link, there's going to be a change, and there's going to be a new button that appears that should say something like check in. And once you click that, you're saying, okay, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm available, right? Because there's always going to be some people that just don't show up, right? They register like a month in advance, something comes up, they don't play, right? The check-in is just to make sure that you click a thing and you say, okay, I'm here, I'm ready to play, right? And that opens 2 hours before, but you don't have to be here sitting, just waiting for 2 hours, right? It's 15 minutes to 2 hours, right? So the 15 minutes is the absolute minimum, right? Make sure you're at least like 30 minutes, 40 minutes here before the tournament starts. You go to the challenge link, you click the check-in button. Again, it's going to be a giant orange button, so it shouldn't be hard to find. And that's basically how we're going to say, okay, I'm ready to play. You just keep an eye out for the announcements, and once you see an announcement from Nite or any of the other people that are helping with the tournament organization saying that you can start your game, you're good to go, right? You just look on Challenge who you're supposed to be playing. Let me switch over to... Okay, there you go. Just an example bracket. You just look at where your team is on the bracket, and you'll see like who you're supposed to be fighting, right? You message that person either on the Discord. That's probably going to be the easiest way to do it, because there's going to be a new chat just for this tournament. You can see there's an archive of all the previous tournament chats. And you just message the people you're supposed to be playing with, and if you've seen the announcement saying you're good to go, you can start, then you just host a passworded game, you send them the password, and that's it. You just play your games, best of 3, so it's 2 to 3 matches, and then you just report the scores on Challenge, right? This is going to be editable if it's your matchup. Another important thing you have to do is save your replays. So once the game is over, you have to name, you click this button, right? And you have to name the replay something that can be used to find where it belongs to later, right? In case there's any issues with sending the files. So it's good to put which round it was. So let's say this is an example. First round, second game, right? So I'm just going to put R1-2, why not? Second game. And be sure to put the names of the team or whoever's playing versus, I don't know, something. You save this replay, and this video, this link should show you how to find the folder where the replays are saved. And once you have that, either you're going to be uploading the replays directly to Challenge, so you can see there's going to be this little attachment thing right next to every game, and you're just going to upload your replay. Okay, here I think you can upload 4 files, but in case it only allows 1 file, or in case the replays are too big, I just have a shortcut to the folder here. But if I want to upload, let's say, these 3 replays, right? I can zip them, right? So either I just right-click and send to compressed file or whatever, or you can have WinRAR and you do this. But basically, you zip it into one file. You put the name of the round, you put the name of the team, whatever, and you just take this replay, upload it to Challonge. In case that doesn't work, there's going to be a tournament chat for this, and you can just upload the files there, right? You just take the file. Let me make this a bit clearer. You just take the zipped file, compressed folder, whatever, and you just drag it into Discord, into the appropriate chat that we're going to make just for this tournament, right? You send this, and that's also a way you can send the replays to us in case Challonge doesn't work. So that should be everything. Oh, and before I go, I'm also going to post the invite to the Discord server that was made to help you find teammates, basically. And yeah, in case you don't have a friend that you can play with, but you do want to participate in the tournament, there should be a bunch of people, as you can see here, looking for teammates who haven't decided yet who they want to play with. So you just go here and you basically say, hey, I would like to participate. I don't have, anyone to play with. And you can also look for teammates here. So yeah, that should be everything. Thank you for watching, and good luck in the tournament.